I used to be a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 boys, and I'm married. This year will be 9 years. And I wanted to start working, like have a career and have something to fall back on, and just being able to have like financial security and stability. I kind of went back and forth between wanting to be a nurse or be a respiratory therapist. It's just something about healthcare that I've always enjoyed and just really loved. I like to take care of people and patients. I had already had prereqs from years previous, but I needed more in order to get into respiratory. I was just having a hard time with financial aid, like even getting approved for anything.
When a student makes a prior attempt and they exhaust some of their financial aid years back, and in her case it was 10 years prior, is when she attempted a few classes. And if they have to withdraw or if they are not successful in classes, then down the road they will still haunt you for that.
It was just too expensive for me to be able to afford to go back to school because my husband was the only one working.
I just do what I can do to help her, like there was one time where I was the only one working, supporting the whole family. She's such a hard-working and dedicated person, and she really trying her hardest to succeed.
It really was a long process, and then in the end I didn't even think I was going to start school because my job ended up closing, and I didn't really have the funds to be able to not work and be able to pay daycare. At the time, it just didn't seem like it would be possible.
Because she's not getting the financial aid, we were trying to find things that would offset some of the financial, distress she had until her financial aid came active. So we really supported her throughout that process. A-STEP is a program for adults who are looking to increase their wage through education. It could mean a certificate or a degree.
That's the only way that I was able to get back into school was because of A-STEP.
We took very small steps in getting her there. We got her to a point where she was able to apply to the respiratory therapy program. She kind of had to prove herself again. It was super exciting to see that she was accepted, and she was so excited, and really her hard work and patience really paid off. She went through so much that a lot of people probably would have stopped going and said, it's not the right time in my life to do this. But she persevered, and unfortunately a week later, her husband lost his job, and she called saying she didn't think she could accept the seat.
It was kind of scary at first because it was my first time not having a job in 8 years. So I went out hard looking for jobs, had interviews, got turned down on some of them.
It was a very discouraging time because you have one door open, but then there's one that closes, and trying to figure out will I be able to do this, or will I have to wait another year and work so that my family can be provided for also. But Jill, she was very helpful.
We said we'll do anything we can to help Ryan, find employment. Of course, Goodwill is the employment machine. We can do what we can to get him employed in, something so she could continue in her studies.
She was able to help Ryan find a job at Goodwill, and I was able to stay in my program because I didn't want to give up my spot. And Ryan, he didn't want me to give up my spot. He was actually still encouraging me to stay in the program.
She was willing to take, the things that she needed to do to support our family. But luckily, we got blessed with this job at Goodwill.
He had a great attitude. You could tell in the interview that he and his family had faced some challenges, unexpected losing of a job, but he was still very positive and had a good spirit about him, that he just was eager to learn whatever the job entailed at that point.
Melissa was a big help. She pretty much showed me the ropes, what to do, what not to do, and sat there with me and pretty much took me under her wing to help me become successful in Goodwill. Oh, I love the customers. Customers know me by first name basis there, and I know them by their first name. That's what it's all about, I always try to build relationships with the customers, walk around, ask them if everything's going okay, if you're looking for anything in particular, if I can help you with it.
I think that it is contagious in the store. I think that from day one, he hasn't run across a challenge that he's not willing to take on head on and tackle it. It was a very quick process for him to be promoted to manager.
With goodwill, I feel blessed where I'm at now. To move up so fast and be in the position that I'm in. And you never know what the future holds. I always want to move up in life.
Looking back, I was like really, upset and just didn't understand why that happened, but it all ended up working out for the best.
We prayed and then we supported each other. At the end of the day, it's all going to pay off. That's what we're in life to do, is to succeed and, build a future for our kids.
I want to branch out and have a career. I think it's important to show for my kids because I can tell them if I was able to hang in there and work and raise you guys, then you can do it too. There's no excuse for you not to be able to do something. If you put your mind to it, you should just go ahead and do it and not give up.
A-STEP, is a goodwill program. So it's really important that we all work together, and it's really, like in this case, for Ryan and Teresa, we looked to goodwill for employment. So the education and employment piece kind of come together, which we feel in the long run is, going to work for the entire family. I am really happy for them. I mean, they work really hard for their family. They just, had some down times and have really worked hard to get through them, and I couldn't be more proud of both of them.